Hi, my name's Dave, political analyst for a nonprofit in the state of Oregon for the past 25 years. Recently I received a email from Joe and Jessica, who live in Clackamas, Oregon, asking me for my comments on the political state of Oregon and our great nation, the United States of America. Well, Joe, Jessica, you've come to the right place. This is what I specialize in. Analyze data, research, my team of in-the-field investigators. We know what's happening. And having known Jessica's family for over 25 years, great Christian family, values, raise their kids great, I understand your concern. What you want this state to be for your children and your grandchildren. Although we can't tackle in this short period of time politics in general across the United States, let's start by taking the state of Oregon and let's analyze what's happened over the past few years and where we've been and hopefully where we want to go. It's a daunting task in itself. It's not easy to analyze a political issue and the direct causes and effects of what made it be what it is today. So let's spend a short period of time and take a look at one specific political issue that has transpired over the last 2 years. And we'll take a look at the cause and effect of how that became. So Joe, Jessica, I hope this answers your question. So my daddy once told me, when you're amongst friends, stay away from religion and politics. But since half the state of Oregon, over half the state of Oregon, voted Democratic and elected that governor, John Kitzhaber, I guess I'm not amongst friends, so it's fair game. Let's get started. I didn't want to take shots at Mr. Kitzhaber and his girlfriend, Sylvia Hayes, without giving them the opportunity to respond. So I contacted Governor Kitzhaber's spokesman, and they declined comment. So it's fair game. So specifically, let's take a look back. And we have supporting data. Let's go back to the Oregonian editorial page in July of 2014, where it first became apparent that there might be some improprieties occurring within the governor's office in his relationship with his girlfriend, Sylvia Hayes. And then let's take a look at the August issue of the Oregonian, front page. Again, smoke occurring at the governor's office. It's covered by all the local media groups, Pamplin Media, the Tribune, Willamette Week, the Oregonian. Don't get me started on the Oregonian, what they did to that paper. It was apparent that there was something going on, and the governor didn't want to talk about it. Sylvia Hayes didn't want to talk about it. But it appeared that there were special favors being granted to the governor's fiancée, which were costing the state of Oregon some money. Not only did she have her hands in his pants, She had her hands in our pants. So, you're innocent until proven guilty. But since he didn't want to respond to it and refused to resign from the race, hey, let's take a crack at him. So, what we have is a political climate in the state of Oregon. Joe, I know I didn't spend a lot of time on it, but here's the cause. Here's the root of the problem. Let me get another piece of data. This is a political map of the state of Oregon. Red dots are conservative and Tea Party members. Blue dots are the Liberals. As you can see, blue dots are primarily concentrated in the Portland metropolitan area and in the northern Willamette Valley. The red dots cover the urban areas of the state. Agricultural, farming, ranching, people with good conservative values like you and me. We raise our family. We teach our kids the right way. We take them to church on Sunday. So what's the problem? It's a tolerant society. What happened? I don't know. You've always had political unrest. A lot of people didn't agree with Reagan, movie star being president, peanut farmer Jimmy Carter, had the Bushes. I don't know. Probably somewhere in the 70s or 80s. Everything went sideways. So, what do we have? We have a society where us red dots live in a sea of blue dots. So, what do? We classify the blue dots as followers, non-thinkers, lazy. They think that everything in life should be handed to them for free. Well, I don't know about you, but that wasn't the way it was when I grew up. We worked. We went out and made a living. We supported our family. Let me give you a prime example. In the past couple of years, I've been taking my grandkids over. I started buying a special kind of flour only available at Pasta Works over in the Hawthorne district of Portland. So, watching the grandkids, we take the grandkids over there. You ought to see the expression on those 10-year-olds' face. We're walking down Hawthorne Street, and little old Millie's poking me in the leg saying, "Grandpa, what's wrong with that guy?" I said, "Yeah. He lives an alternative lifestyle." She says, "Grandpa, I've never seen anything like that before." "What do you mean an alternative lifestyle?" I said, "Well, if you notice, he's full of tattoos. He's got piercings everywhere. He's got big hoops in his ears. Probably doesn't work. Drinks coffee all day, sits on the street corner, plays his guitar with the case open, asking for money. It's a completely different lifestyle." So what do? Those of you who are younger than me probably don't remember a group of people who lived out in Antelope, Oregon. Bhagwan Shi Rajneesh. The name of the town was Rajneeshpuram, located just outside of Madras, Oregon. Now, he had a gal who ran the place, Mahanand Sheila. Now, if I've piqued your interest a little bit, there's a great documentary on OPB that covers the history of Rajneeshpuram, some of the things that took place out there. They're not all good, but there's a takeaway from it. And that takeaway is, those people were the Blue Daughters. Actually, their whole face was blue. They're followers. They didn't have a mind. They couldn't think. But Bhagwan had it all figured out. Those people did whatever he said. You bet. They followed him to the law. So here's what we should do. We can fix this issue. We can return Oregon to where it should be. Where should it be? Next to the great nation of Texas. The independent nation of Texas. You bet. Conservative. They stand for what's right in this world. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take the lead on this. I'm tired of analyzing all this political data. I'm going to jump in. I want to buy up some property in Portland. We're going to name it Devneeshpuram. So what do I want you to do? I want you to get all your friends together. I want you to gather up some bucks, send them to me. Then we're going to round up all the blue dots, the non-thinkers. We're going to bring them in. We're going to teach them the right way, Dave's way. Make them work for a living. We're going to pull all those piercings out. We're going to take the hoops out of their ears. We're going to cover up the tattoos. We're even going to make them go to church on Sunday. You bet. And when they get done with church, it's going to be a day of rest. Rest of the week, we're going to make them work. You bet. We're going to start solving the problem, the issue. Get Oregon back on track. We're going to get rid of all the idiots who voted that governor into office. What the heck is wrong with those people? Where there's smoke, there's fire. What do you think a good-looking girl like her is doing with an old retired fart like him? Huh? I'll tell you, if you don't know. It's disgrace. My cousin calls me from California and she says, "What the heck's going on up there? I thought Jerry Brown was bad, but what does she see in him?" I'll tell you. No, I won't tell you. So, you may agree or you may disagree with my commentary. In either way, I really don't care. So, Joe, Jessica, I hope I've given you a little bit of insight. You know, it's kind of hard to cover everything in 15 minutes. YouTube kind of puts a limit on what we can do here. But, you know, I've briefly touched over some of the things that you asked me about. And hopefully we can take this and make it a great place, great state to live for your kids and your grandkids and your great-grandkids and my children, my great-grandchildren. And if you have any other questions, anything else bothering you, you want some personal advice, give me a call.